Hello friends, I'm back with the second video in creating our vision board, and as you can see I have lots and lots of fun stuff that I want to include on my board. If I run into having too much stuff, then I will add it to my journal because it is just also very everything in there pertains to something. If I can't use it here, I'll definitely use it on my in my journal. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on getting these kind of separated. I had them on my board a little bit, but I'm just going to go ahead and kind of pull out the words that I've picked out, and then I have gotten some die cuts. This is from Hobby Lobby and this is from Vicki Boutin. And most of the magazines that I've cut from is like Victoria magazine, My Country Garden. This is I love Wellness Mantra magazine. So that was some quote I got out from there. A lot of my stuff is older, like from older magazines, you guys. I have two Victoria magazines from like the 90s that I cherish, and I think this is one of the images, and I don't cut that one up, I make a copy of it. So if there's magazines like the Wellness Mantra magazines, I don't cut up either. I have some of my artwork. This is another die cut from Hobby Lobby. But if you have anything that you don't want to cut up but you love the image, make a copy, or take a photo, print the photo out and put it on there. So, because I'm one of the people that don't like to cut up all my magazines because I look through them quite a bit. As I can say, I've had this one since like 1995 or something. I was like, oh my gosh, you ought to see the pictures in there, how different the photography is in the different pictures, how times have changed. Like more things are lighter versus back in the 90s. They were darker. And actually, let me show you really quick because I found it so interesting. So this is one of my favorite magazines that I've kept. This is from 1991, you guys. I was still in high school. But I loved Victoria magazine, and I loved Country Living was my two magazines. And as I mentioned before, that it was times that I used to babysit, and she would have these magazines, and I would just flip through them, and I was just, oh my goodness, amazed by them. But look at the outfits. It's so cute to look at the different styles. But what I was talking about, oh my gosh, and that perfume, I loved it. It was just, everything was so romantic and fun. But just look at the dark photography in here. It's just real, let's see here. See how dark the colors are. Look how dark this is. I did make a copy of this candlestick because I did like it. But it's just so different how now the photos that you see are real light, and so anyway, I just thought that was very interesting to notice how the different pictures have changed over time. Ooh, even a perfume sample. I wonder what that smells like from 1991. So yeah, so definitely pages, definitely books like that I don't tear up because I love them so much, and I still flip through them. So I went to Half Price Books yesterday, and I picked up a couple of postcards packets, and this was a card set, a note card set, and this was actually a Thomas Kincaid postcard set. They were booklets, and I just picked them up, and I thought these would be great little images to add on my journal, on my vision board. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut the back off of this one. Now some of these, now talking about magazine clippings, this is also a Vicki Boutin. I wanted to include something that resembled art because I always am making time for art. So that's like always been on my radar. But all these die cuts I think I'm going to do afterwards. Oops. Die cuts and lettering I think I'm going to do kind of afterwards. So I'm going to set these over here for now. And I'm trying not to get my head in the picture. I noticed on my last video, you guys, my head's constantly in the picture. And so it's because my camera has been moved up. So I'm really trying to make an effort to not, where you don't have to see the top of my head. Where am I going to put these? I think I'll put them right over here. Oh, don't want them to fall. Okay, so let's go ahead and add some more like larger pictures to my background. I thought I had more than this, to be honest with you guys. But it's okay. Let me make sure I got everything. Okay, yeah, I made a pile, so. Okay, so, oh, here's some more lettering. So here is, talking about magazine articles, I'm not going to put the liquid glue on mine because I do notice that with the liquid glue and the actual magazine pages, they do buckle and they don't seem to flatten out like the cardstock does. So, or like scrapbook paper or regular paper. So I'm just going to use a glue stick to kind of like adhere these down. These pages down. But I have my tea over here. I definitely want to do tea. I'm constantly, this last year I really wanted to include reading. Actually, I might just use the glue stick. I just squirted out a bunch of glue, but I might be able to use it on the thicker cardstock, I mean thicker die cuts and things like that. But I really, you know, that was on my list last year, is to read. I have so many wonderful books to read, you guys, and I keep buying more because I love the concept. I love what I read. It's just me literally making it a priority. And I did notice that as I was putting my board together, this is a lot of personal growth versus business. And so I think with my business, I mean, this includes a lot of it too, because journaling is my love, my life love, you know. So I know that my business is a lot of like art that goes along with journaling. So it's hard to say that's business because it's also my life love, art and journaling and memory keeping. So I think that's always going to be on my, I mean, that's just a given. It's almost like it's embedded in my life. I can't even, like I said, even when I'm not, so quote unquote working, I'm working. I don't even consider it work, to be honest with you. I don't know how else to kind of explain it. But you know what I just did notice? I know I'm kind of jumping all around. I think I've had 4 cups of coffee, you guys. No, 3. I take that back. I had 3. So yeah, I'm kind of bouncing off the walls here. But I know what it was now is that I had bigger images, so that's why it doesn't seem as I've gotten too many images. So I included music in here because music is just good for the soul. I'm just going to include that music paper right here somewhere. I included these lollipops on here and books. See, I'm kind of really incorporating books because it definitely, and this is tidiness. This is me wanting to be tidy. But I'm including the lollipops for one. To me, when I see this, I think of fun, whimsical, sweet, joy, enjoyment. And as you can see over here, I've also included a salad. So, it's not all going to be about eating salad. It's also going to be about having fun and whimsical. Good morning. My daughter just walked in. She just woke up. So, anyway, but I am going to include salad. I also included a hiking because that is something that I want to do, and we talked about it, starting to do that. We've got great parks around here that we could do that in. Okay, so I also including a, this is a photo, this is a printable out of some artwork that I did back when I did Camp Make Believe, and I did this one too, Always Time for Tea, because that is something that I want to start incorporating into my monthly, oops, I got glue, into my monthly routine, is sitting down and having like a special tea, you know, with my journal or with a book, or so it's another way of me recreating a calmness, or recreating, because I always have loved doing that with tea. I have so many things that I don't enjoy that I have in the cupboard, as far as like teapots and teacups and specialties and things like that. And I really want to take time out and make a day or make an afternoon of having a formal afternoon tea. So that's kind of what this is about. And I included this, I want to include this on my page too. And this is just kind of also a way of saying, you know, magical dreams come true, you know, possibilities. So, and I thought about actually putting the word recreate here. I'm on the fence. I don't know if that's what I'm going to do or not, but that is part of my goals this year. It's just kind of like, I feel like I'm recreating the rainbow for myself. So that's going there. And then I don't know, I think I'm going to cut this up because it's kind of taking up, I don't want it to cover up too much of my images I already have down. So, but I definitely want to include my little teacup on there. Sorry, Mad Hatter. I know that's your quote. Okay. So, I think I'm just going to kind of pop this on here like that, or, yeah. And you know, the thing with these vision boards too, you can always add things throughout the, you can always add things throughout your month or your year. And I hear my Pokey and they're barking. But I'm going to try to get through this. And hopefully my daughter will get him. He's going to come in here and greet me in a minute, and we're going to say hi, but I want to definitely get through the video because I'm trying to post all of these videos today so that we can get our vision board ready for our new year. Okay. So I'm just kind of gluing down the images, and like I mentioned earlier, what I like to do is do the images and then come in and include the wording afterwards. And this is part of my Collage. I went through all of his postcards that were in that packet, and this was my favorite. Well, there's two. This one, I love the openness of it, like I imagine, and I love the garden. The other one was really pretty too, but I love having those doors opened and letting the outside in, so to speak. I imagine having one day having like an art studio where I can open up the windows and, you know, almost year round, right? But I definitely want season, so and I was going to tell you too, is my head in the picture? Now I'm paranoid. But I was going to also say that, you know, sometimes if people look at your vision board, it may not even make any sense to them. And that is perfectly fine, because it's not about making sense to anybody but yourself. So, and it's to kind of do as a reminder, a visual reminder. Like I said, I like to keep mine in my room. Again, this one is a little bit different than what I've done in the past, because I've been, for the past, I don't know, 8 years or more, it's been all about business. You know, that's always been my big focus, you know, and this, it seems like this year I'm taking a step back. Fairy tale, my year of my fairy tale, I was about kind of the same process. So I find myself coming back to this, and you know, maybe next year it'll be more business driven too. I don't know. I like the way that when people talk about like the different seasons that you're in, it's so true, because you change, so everything can be different from year to year. It doesn't always have to be the same goals, the same thought process. And I feel like a lot of these things is like recreating that. What do I feel like I'm missing, or that I miss doing, or when I look around, I know all my, like the teapots, I've collected teapots for a while now, and I used to do tea parties all the time when the kids were little, and I look at my teapots and I'm like, gosh, I miss doing that, you know. So when you say things like that, it's like, I want to do that. I want to have tea parties, even if it's solo tea parties. I am totally fine with that. Okay, so I think that creates the background. And let's go ahead and do another layer. See how it's all coming together? It looks so cute. Okay, so I'm going to start with my words and then just kind of go from there. So, oh, this is just the background of that. I found a lot of this stuff in art journals, like art magazines. I love this Design Your Own Sanctuary. And then I actually have more descriptive words here. Happy. This is actually from Loveland's Life, one of her artwork. Mindful journaling. That is something that I am really wanting to focus on this year, where I know my creative daily journal is sometimes just like, this is what we did, this is where I went, and I love that. I totally love it. It's a way of memory keeping, but I also want to really like look at my journal that my personal journal that I use and really do mindful journaling in it, where I go deeper, go more self-discovery, that kind of thing. And so that's one of my goals this year. I love this. This is actually out of a journaling magazine where someone made it herself in the journal. And I just love it because it says journey, and of course it has the flower. And this is Melanie Ross Brave Girls Club. It was out of a magazine, but I just like, I'm going to just use Brave Girls. I'm still on the fence about create art. That's another focus. Here it is. Design your own happy living sanctuary. I thought about that. And of course, I got this from Daphne's Diary cover. I think I included diary on my vision board last year as well. Maybe up here. I feel like I need a word to go above the diary, but I'll kind of, maybe Brave Girls Diary, because it's really, sometimes I'm really skeptical about writing things down, you guys, and I've discovered a new girl online. She's called The Unexpected Gypsy, a girl. Oh, she's not a girl. I'm saying girls, but she's a lady I discovered online, and she really has a whole new vision of how to journal, and I'm going to leave her link below. She's got some great videos. Romance, I'll tell you about romance in a minute, because it sounds like, ooh, lovey-dovey, you know. I'll tell you about what I mean by this. But Brave Girls Diary is kind of like where you actually write what is important to you. So And it's not being afraid that someone's going to read it. You know, no one should be reading your journal. I mean, unless you want them to. And I've always been, I mean, I'm kidding you. I'm not kidding you. I'm looking up at my shelf above there. Those are journals from when I was in my 20s. And most of it is about when my son was little and all the kind of things. But I kept a lot of things out. Like, I just talked about, like, just stuff, like the day-to-day, and of course different things. But I left my true feelings of the times out because I was so worried, like, what if someone reads this? You know, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, or maybe I'm secretly going through some things and I don't want people to know. And that's not right. I mean, I should be able to freely write in my journal and not worry about it. I've gotten a lot better over the years, I would say over the last year or two. I've gotten a lot better. Well, no, I can take that back. It's been a while, maybe 5 years. I'm still, just the last few years have just been crazy. But I have been doing that for a while, and she's kind of reiterated, like, especially because, you know, we're all going through things, and I think it's important to have that. Whoops. And there's Poke Poo. There's Poke Poo. Good morning. Good morning. See you. He gives the sweetest hugs in the mornings. Okay. That is not sticking up there, so we'll have to come back and work on that. Okay, going back to romance, okay? And I need to put maybe some flowers over here. I feel like I need to add design your own. It's romanticize is what I'm really wanting to talk about. And that goes along with, like, the whole, it's like living in the moment, you know? It's not about, like, it's loving the life you have. It's not necessarily about finding, you know, the love of your life or being romantic and that kind of thing, which you can definitely add that. But for me, it's about, oops, romance journey. Maybe I'll do that. Because that's kind of what, oh my heavens, I just stuck my glue in the glue. Where's my paper towels when I need them? That's okay, we'll just use it, we'll go with it. So I think that's kind of what I'm gearing towards, is living in that moment, you know, in that journey, in your journey. And I'll put this down. Now my hands are super sticky from glue, and that's okay. We're getting messy, we're creating. Whoops. We were laughing yesterday because me and my daughter, we had to go into Austin, into town, and we went out to eat, and I just made the biggest mess, you guys. And the waitress was so sweet, and she was one of those that would come over, and, like, I always put, like, sweetener in my tea, and so I had that, and I always drink out of a straw. I had iced tea. And they didn't have straws, which was so bizarre to me. And it's a habit. It's what I don't like drinking things and having it hit the top of my mouth, and I don't know. Anyway, it's just me. But she brought me, like, a little margarita straw, which was kind of, or like a mixed drink straw, which was really short. But I don't know. I just kept making the biggest messes. And I was like, gosh, I feel so messy right now. All right, shall we go into the lettering? Let's just move in, and then this will be like a 3-video series. We'll come in and add our accessories next. And I have to gather my accessories. And now that my family is up, it's a little chaotic here to do my video, so I'll be coming back, but I'm gonna definitely try to fit all these in today so we can get our should just go up here. I think it looks so good there. This was from Daphne's Diary too. But I'm definitely going to be adding, see how I have the white around the trim? I'll be adding paint there. So we'll come in, and once we get all of our images down, we will then change, add different things. I love adding different elements. These are all, you guys, this was all from, I think Hobby Lobby came out with these very large, I think I might put that one to cover that. That is vellum, or, yeah, vellum, and so it keeps popping up. But I had this image because it's all about, like, save your money. I have dreams, I gotta save my money. So I might put that there. Color outside the lines. I definitely want to include this. I think I'm going to do this here, because that is such a main part of my life, is creating art. It's such a feel-good. Color outside the lines. I don't want to cover that up. Good there. Also, I'm going to take a look up into the camera, because sometimes you can really get a visual of, like, how it looks. I love this. Believe in magic. Another art piece. But sometimes if you, like, if you're new to this and you haven't done a collage piece or anything, you can take a photo of it, like with your camera, like with your phone. Take a quick photo, and then you can just kind of see, like, how it looks, you know, and that sometimes is very, very helpful. There's my flowers I can include over here. I cut it down. Ooh, perfect. Maybe I want to include that. And then I think I'm going to keep this in a lot of these things I might add. I don't know if I'll put that. It looks kind of dark and out of place to me, even though it could be a pop of a reminder. Definitely a butterfly. This would be really cute, as if, and I think I have some of those little pop-ups. We'll add this as an accessory, so this will be an accessory, because I'm going to actually add some little pop-ups where it's actually popping up off of the page. And then I'll put that up there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get these down, and then we will be back in another video adding the accessories. So I won't keep you guys on here while I glue all these down, but take your time, don't rush. I may add this as a pop-up too, because it was already kind of pop-up over there. Maybe not. It's driving me crazy with this piece. But yeah, take your time and pick out some images and play around with it. Take a couple photos, see how it looks through the lens, and we will go from there. All right, you guys. Oh, I'll see you here shortly in another video. Bye.